My name is Petronella Ytsma. In Dutch it would be Petronella Ytsma. And I'm a St. Paul-based photographer, primarily working in the arts. If there's a common theme in any of my work, it's probably that the base of the external image is rooted in an emotional place for me. So, for example, the installation I had done in 2004 at Augsburg, I titled Treuren, which is an old Huguenot word meaning the place in your soul where sorrow moves in and takes up residence. So from that, I photographed 100 people's hands, shooting a hand like a sculpture. The body of work before that really came out of the death of a really good friend of mine who had AIDS, and within a short time period of that, my mother died. I wanted to find something beautiful in that awful time period, and I labeled it Myrnon, which is remembrance with great sorrow. That was all botanical images, and all of the flowers or the plants either belonged to Jeffrey or my mother. So in that sense, that kind of tracks back to, if there's a commonality, it's the place where it comes from, not the external look. I've just been standing in the arts for all these years, you know, I just can't not do it. You know, I love working with artists, I love the creativity, you know, everybody's asking questions in their own way and solving problems in their own way, and I'm actually working with artists who need work shot for either grant application, exhibition proposals, books, publications. So in my studio I shoot both 2 and 3D work, a lot of paintings, sculptures. So I am going to be asking you kind of like about your time in Vietnam. Okay. And I really believe that a photographer or an image maker has a civic responsibility. This work on the legacy, my little portrait of an Ecocide, work that I've been doing both in Vietnam and with the Minnesota vets, is sort of a metaphorical project for me. On a personal level, I had friends who were affected with cancers and illnesses related to their time in service in Vietnam, Agent Orange and Dioxin exposure. And at the same time, we were yet again ramping up to go to war again in Iraq. And I think something snapped for me. I think suddenly nothing made sense anymore. And I kind of gave myself an unpaid leave of absence and went to Vietnam to just do research. So this was 2007. And quickly saw effects on families and children. So then I was really fortunate. I was given a state arts board grant to return to Vietnam to actually photograph families in villages and small towns. The encapsulation of that particular trip and being with those families was that I felt like I was on the inside of a prayer. I can't ever talk about it without getting really emotional, because it just really doesn't seem fair in life that so many people have to live with something that I feel really culpable for, that particular war. And I met so many people who do it with such grace And these women have to care for these kids, and some of them are now like 39 years old, and some of them are babies, you know? People are still being born affected. I photographed second, third, and beginning fourth generation.
I was exposed to Agent Orange, mainly from my job in Vietnam, and also from the excessive spraying around the bases, you know. The nerve is dead on both arms. And that's what's happening to my feet now, and my legs, the exact same thing. The feet are just like...
So then the second part of the legacy seems to me the effects on the soldiers, and what's clearest to me is that they have paid for that very deeply. And so have their families and their kids and some of their grandkids and all the rest of their lives.
Yeah, we've got our penance to pay.
I'm trying to understand the cost that they've had to pay and what that's like for them. I do want to understand that. For me, the Vietnam-American War acts as a metaphor for the long-term effects, guaranteed effects of any war. It feels like it's the project that won't let go of me, because it is metaphorical, and because I really do want to understand some truth. I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of looking for a little more level of peace inside of myself. It's not working very well, but, you know.
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.